Good morning, everybody. There's going to be no music today. All right, no music today. Very serious. We got a very, very serious topic today. All right, what is my crypto mining plan? This is going to be, I think it's evening for most of you. But yeah, welcome. Yankee, good to see you. Techman, BRRE, Northern Crypto and Tech. Aztec Miner, Gen X Made, the Toxic Miner, Smoky Dan. Is the stream good? Guys, is the stream okay? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let's see here. So change this. Okay. That's better. Oh, my chat is completely out there. Bring you guys in. There we go. Bring this closer. Good morning, Vietnam. Yeah, well, it's morning. It's morning for me. Seems okay. No, it's buffering. Is it buffering, or are you guys kidding me? Stream health. Let's see. It says the stream is healthy. Okay, so according to YouTube, we are good. It's lagging 20 seconds. What? Lagging 20 seconds? What does that mean? What does that mean? Anyway, I have it on stream latency. I have on normal, not on ultra low latency. So there's gonna be like a 20-second delay. But smash the like, bros. Smash the like. No music today. All right. Hopefully you guys don't care about music. But 61 people here, 13 likes. Smash the like, bros. All right, let's begin. So I'm gonna go through just kind of everything I'm like thinking in my head, you know, as to what my plan is going into 2026. All right, there's a couple things that I'm gonna be trying, right? I'm gonna be testing, and not necessarily everything is going to be tailored towards crypto mining specifically, but I'm going to be venturing out into other things. Maybe just I kind of want to just talk about it with you guys. I'm not going to make videos on that stuff, but if you want me to, I don't think you want me to. But anyways, I'm going to start off. Okay, so there's a lot of different niches within crypto mining. But you know what I'm going to start off first with is that, I'm going to make this bigger. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to preface my crypto mining plan with this. Okay. I'm going to preface my crypto mining plan with this. My electrical rate currently at my house, actually both of my places now, I actually just did a final conversion, like the final bill. I have demand, my cost per kilowatt hour, taxes, everything all in my electrical bill. I converted it to USD, so I'm at 7.072 cents USD kilowatt hour. Okay. At both places right now, combined, I have about 600 amps. And then I have, I gotta be, how do you say it? Transparent here. I also have, hosting, ASIC hosting between, 5 to 7 C, kilowatt hour. Okay. See what cents here. USD kilowatt hour. Okay, so I'm just gonna preface before I talk about everything. Is it too small? Is the wording too small? Here, I'll zoom in. Is everything too small here? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's just go. Okay, don't mind the Rust guy there. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. Perfect. All right. So the reason why I'm and can you guys stop Pokimane card stacking? That's my other investment strategy. That we're not even talking about that. I let you guys know I'm my real estate portfolio is actually like 10 times bigger than my crypto mining. So that's a whole other conversation we are not going to have on this channel. But specifically crypto mining, okay? So prefacing with my electrical rate right now, okay, about 72 cents USD. I have 600 amps right now that I am actually not maxed out. I'm probably not using 600 amps right now. At both places combined, obviously, I think I'm using about 300, 350. I need to have some headroom. Again, I need to have some headroom for the people, for my house, my appliances. So maybe I'm actually like, okay, not 600 amps. So I should probably change this to like, well, I'm 600 amps capacity. I'm maybe using like 300 to 350 usage. In terms of my power. Okay, all right. So that's just this is one of the biggest. How do I say it? Variables when it comes to crypto mining. I mean, other variables are hash rate and difficulty of these networks. You got to consider future potential of how, if more people are going to be coming on, buying more hardware. Difficulty of these networks like Bitcoin, Script, are obviously going to go higher, and power cost, right? Power cost is one of the biggest ones. The cheaper you have, the more competitive and more profitable you will be, right? So, if I had like 10 cents USD, my plan would be completely different. If I had maybe 4 cents USD, my crypto mining plan would also be completely different. So, it really depends. Your electrical rate and crypto mining really, really matter, right? It really depends on your electrical rate, and your strategy can change, either way, really. And your financial situation as well is going to be paramount. Anyways, I'm also going to preface here. I don't have free power, and I don't have solar. Can't do solar because I'm in the northwest Canada. Rain, cloud, snow all year. Okay. All right. I just gotta preface with that. I know people. I know for a fact people are gonna scream, "Red Panda, just buy solar. Get into solar." Ah, I can't stand that. I can't stand it. Next person who tells me to go into solar, I'm gonna make a dedicated video saying I can't get into solar. Here's why, so everyone can screw off. Jesus Christ. Oh man. I should actually. That's actually a good video title. That's legit. I am gonna make that video. That's a good. Here, let me put that in so it reminds me later. Make video called "I can't get into solar. Here's why." All right, there. All right. So funny. All right. Okay. So, anyways, all right. Now, okay, with that out of the way, you guys basically know my base, okay? My base for what I'm planning here going forward into 2026. So, now into the like micro niches of crypto mining, right? What I mean by micro, like we got CPU mining. All right, let's go. Let's just fire them off here. We got what the heck? I can't do capital. GPU mining. We got ASIC mining. Okay, we got CPU mining. We got FPGA mining. We got I guess DePIN. DePIN is considered like some type of mining, right? What else? What else? What else do we have? Micronesia. Rude Puts, it's too late. I'm going for bed. Rude Puts, have a good one, man. I'm sorry. Because I'm in Asia. My time zone is much different. What other things do we got here? Panda, stop renting to illegals. I don't have any illegals. Okay. DePIN is a scam. Most of it is. Yeah, 99% of it is a scam. More analytical. What's up, man? Okay, I gotta touch on, I guess, AI. Thanks to More Analytical for reminding me of that. AI GPU rental. Okay, I gotta put in quotes here. AI. Biggest misconception with AI. It's just literally just renting out your GPU, and majority of the time, it's like crypto mining for a lot of these platforms. Anyway, except for the one I'm on, which I want to touch on. All right, so sorry, you guys can hear people coughing. Sorry. All right. Okay. AI platforms mining. Yes, exactly. Okay, what else? What else is there? Okay, and then I kind of want to talk about my I guess am I profit taking? Like my strategy of, am I hodling? Am I hodling? Like what's my strategy for 2026 in terms of selling, into fiat or stable coins? I gotta put stable coins here. Also, I have yield farming. Okay, there's a bunch of things here. DeFi. There's a whole bunch of things here. This is gonna be a very long topic. This last one, not even sure if we're gonna make. Is there anyone streaming after me? Is there anybody streaming after me? Max Voltage, welcome. Retro Mike, welcome. Anything that requires a license to participate is a scam. Yeah, exactly. Retro Mike says, just buy solar. Just get into solar. I think Ninja Kid, I think solar would be a good idea. You guys are horrible, all of you. Max says, what about crypto nodes? Max, that's a good one. That's a good one. I am okay, sure. Let's just put in nodes here. Nodes, crypto nodes, I guess. Staking. Okay. Retro Mike, where's the phone mining? All right, fine. I'll put in phone mining. That's gonna be very short lived. I'm gonna give you my. I'm gonna give you my. I have a very fast reasoning for phone mining. Okay. I think that's it. I truly think this is really everything. Okay, I don't think there's really anything else. Phones, FPGA, CPU mining, ASIC mining. I mean, the true biggest ones for me are going to be like the top 3 here. I guess AI GPU rental is also going to be pretty big for me. All right, let's go. Okay, so into the niche, the micro niche of GPU mining. Okay, so. Okay. All right. So, Smoky Dan's still waiting on my TV and fridge mining. Hey, a lot of those Samsung or LG fridges do have literal Android. Like you can probably install an Android mining on there, phone mining or something on there, I'm sure. All right. Okay. So, you all know I currently have 170 HXs. Okay. I have currently 107, about 100-ish 170 HXs GPU mining. Okay. So my GPU mining plan going into 2026 is to just status quo. I'm not changing. I just literally swapped all my 3070s. Not all of them. I actually still have like 30 or 40 left, which when I get back from my trip, I'm on a trip right now. I will be selling those. I will. I currently have all 178Xs. Okay, I have 8 GB ones that are all BIOS modded, and then I have 10 GB ones, which are not. There is no BIOS unlock for those, unfortunately. So GPU mining. With my 178Xs currently, I am actually still reasonably profitable. I can bring it up here. Let's see here. Where is my? There it is. Okay, so I currently I have all of my 178Xs currently mining Zealous. At 7 cents, they're still, I'm still able to churn, a decent profit with about 100 of these 178Xs. So I'm currently only making about $34 a day after electricity. So if I had free electric, it'd be $56 a day. So currently, yeah, I have these on. They're still in the green for me. I have 178Xs still going. All right. So then, am I going to be expanding into more GPUs in 2026? No. I will not be expanding GPU mining going into 2026. I will not. I love GPU mining. You all know, right? You all know I love GPU mining. I have probably 50 plus Octominers still sitting. I have Octominer cases that are all empty and sitting. Actually, half of them maybe are filled with RX 470s. I still have CMP 10210s. Those are still. I should probably turn those on. Actually, I think the 10210s are still okay. But I forgot to also preface this. I run my crypto mining as a business. So I have to pay quarterly taxes. All right, this is very important. Actually, this is actually very important. I have to pay quarterly taxes. All right, this is probably a big reason to pretty much everything that I am participating in. I have to pay quarterly taxes. All right. So, anyways, so I'm not going to be expanding. You're not going to see me buy RX 580s, 570s. I'm not going to be buying, 5090s for mining. The 5090s are going to be for AI, which we'll touch on later. 5080s, 5070 Ti's. I'm not buying the new bleeding edge. The reason why I've stuck with 178Xs is because these are quite strong on memory hardened algorithms, even some that are not memory hardened algorithms. The 178X is a really good card for the dollar per hash. The dollar per hash, the reason why I got into them was because I was getting 3 times more hash rate than 3 3070s. I could sell the 3 3070s for let's say $900 at the time, and at the time I was able to get almost a 1-to-1 trade for a single 3070 for a 178X. But a 178X was getting almost 2 to 3 times more hash rate. So you understand that I've effectively raised my hash rate for my whole farm 3x. So, anyways, taxes are a scam. I create a business. I have to pay monthly here. Monthly taxes? Really? Wow. That TechMan monthly? That's brutal. That's actually brutal. All right. Anyways, so GPU mining. I'm not going to be expanding. I'm going to just stick with I'm going to stick with what I currently have, which are 178HXs that are all on right now. Everything else, all my other GPUs, all my other GPUs, I'm going to sell off. Uh, I, I think the 37. Actually, I think the 3070 is still okay at my electrical rate. Funny enough, I mean, not a lot. It looks like Kwai 29 cents, 11 cents after electric. At that point, it's just, I don't know. At my 7.72 cents, it's just, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's just not worth it to run 3070s at this point. The big one is, the big one. People are someone's gonna say, Red Panda, like, breaking even. Why don't you still mine and hodl? This is what this question here. Okay, I understand. The sentiment has changed over time, including myself. I mean, for all of you who have followed my channel, since the very beginning, I was always a massive proponent for mining and hodl. Over the past couple of years, I've predominantly done that, and I still have a lot of the bags that I've mined and held for GPU mining. Whether it's Ergo, a Lithium, when it was GPU mineable, Neoxa. Like, I still have everything. Like, I haven't sold any of those coins. So, and I've talked about this before. My reasoning was the reasoning why I've stopped doing the whole mine and hodl is because I've already done that enough to where I don't want to do that anymore. And I've held enough that those bags have gone down 50, 70, 90%, 99% down for a lot of those coins, that it's not lucrative, or it's definitely not lucrative to do it anymore. And mining at break even, it's just ain't worth it. It's the juice ain't worth the squeeze, per se. Okay. In terms of GPU mining, we'll talk about the whole mine and hodl for some other stuff here, as we go along. But for GPU mining, it's currently dead. I truly believe that we will have an altcoin season at one point. Things are going to go back up again. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. It won't happen. Maybe it won't happen next year, but who knows, right? I still think that it might come. It still might come. Right now, it's obviously dead. Everything is completely down for GPU mining, unless you have cheaper electric. Anyways, okay, so I think that's pretty much it with GPU mining. I guess I'll finalize this with, I am going to mine and sell. Well, I'm going to mine what is most profitable, okay, and sell that either into Bitcoin or stablecoin, or I guess stablecoin. This is really going to tie into my last part here, profit taking, all that kind of stuff for 2026. Again, this also ties into I'm a run as a business, and I had to pay quarterly taxes. So for GPU mining, it's going to be, I'm looking at it as I'm just selling. I'm just selling or trading into Bitcoin for what I've been profiting. All right, so okay, so that's it. I think that covers my GPU mining plan. This is. I don't think it obviously hasn't really changed. I've stuck with. I've stuck with GPU mining because I still believe in it. I still do believe that we are going to come to a time when GPU mining is going to be amazing again. Not necessarily now or tomorrow or the next 6 months or a year, but I just have I don't know. My gut feeling tells me it will come back at a time, and when it does, I'm just going to be mining and selling, because if I have these top tier GPUs, memory hardened GPUs for crypto mining, and if a lot of those algorithms, a lot of these coins, stay memory hard, if they stay core dependent, then that opens the door for FPGAs, ASICs, and whatnot. So a lot of GPU mining coins, like Zealous, recently Zealous kind of changed into a CPU, GPU algo. But now actually the 178X has just got a big hash rate jump. So they're actually earning a bit more now than what hashrate.no is saying. But anyways, okay. All right, so let's see here. Juice ain't worth the squeeze, Yankee. Yankee, that's going to be a very common thing going forward, because let's talk about ASIC mining. This is where there's a lot of the juice ain't worth the squeeze. We are coming to a point where Bitcoin mining is done. Like Bitcoin mining at a home level is dead. Script mining is becoming also industrialized. If you don't have cheap power, there's no possible way for you to make a significant amount of money, Bitcoin mining anymore. If you don't have cheaper electric, you're really you're really gonna have a hard time. And so, okay. Anyways, let's go here. Yeah, I need a water. Hold on. I don't have water. All right, this is gonna be a tough stream. All right, here we go. Smash the like, bros. We got 90 people here, 33 likes. Smash the like, bros. I can tell the world is in turmoil. There's a lot of less people here. All right, ASIC mining. Hold on, I just got a water. 1 second. All right. All right. Okay. ASIC mining. All right. Yusuf puts ASIC Zcash only. Yeah. Yusuf puts. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. But anyways, okay. So, all right. ASIC mining. This is one. Throughout 2025, it's been great. Generally, if you had decent electric rate, that is. For ASIC mining, and I'm going to be ASIC mining. I'm going to be looking at this as a way to just make money. All right, this is where I'm looking at this not to mine and hold in hopes that the coin's going to go up. I'm looking at this with in mind where I have cheap electricity generally. Okay, I feel like I have cheap electricity, but sometimes I feel like it isn't. And this is going to be totally predicated on if I have the most efficient hardware that's out there. So this really ASIC mining is really tailored towards people who have cheap electricity. So going into 2026, I'm truly lucky, right? I'm truly lucky to have access to ASIC hosting between 5 and 7 cents, and then I also have my electrical rate here at home is about 72 cents USD. So I'm able to still make a profit, right? Whether or not you guys know I got some L9s recently at home, so I'm looks like profitability wise making about $7 to $8 a day US per L9. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing that amazing, but it's still making money, and that's how I'm looking at it, right? So right now for ASIC mining, am I going to be expanding in ASIC mining? Yes and no. So here's what I'm looking at things right now. I am not going to get into Bitcoin mining. I guess I'll start off with that. I will not be expanding into Bitcoin mining. Okay. Um, the reason for this is the Bitcoin halving is coming up in about another 3 years or less, and in terms of just the amount of money some of these miners make, and right now buying a Bitcoin ASIC, it costs absorbent, like 9, 5, 7 grand, 8 grand. You know, the ROI, to get your money back on some of these miners, it's really going to depend on your electrical, again, depending on your electrical rate. If I had 4 cents, if I had 4 cents or 3 cents electricity, oh yeah, you would see me take out $1 million loan. I would take out $1 million loan and like buy like a whole bunch of these S21 XPs. S21 XP at like 4 cents electric, I would be making hand over fist a lot of money every single day, profiting after 4 cents electric. I would be making $211 after 4 cents electric. So if I had access to really cheap power and the means to do it, and if I bought like $1 million, let's say right now an S21 XP makes how much? Makes let's say about $1 million in S21 XPs. It costs about $4,500 right now. Let's just say divided by. Let's say I bought 222 S21 XPs, 222 S21 XPs times $215 a month profit. I would be earning 47 grand. All right, I would be earning about $47,000 a month after my 4 cents electricity. All right, so if I was getting into Bitcoin mining, I would do it like this, but only if I had extremely cheap power. But I don't. I guess 7 cents is okay, but it's not really. But because Bitcoin mining, I feel, is very, very competitive now and very, very industrialized. I just feel that Bitcoin mining at scale is very hard, especially at scale. Okay, so I am not going to be getting into Bitcoin mining. All right. So Smokey, let's see. So YouTube, Boris, what are you talking about? Get $1 million loan? Yeah, I wish. You guys run on hydroelectric? Where I live, up in Canada, we're all basically hydroelectric. Yes, that's why our electricity is much cheaper. Because my electricity is cheaper, the U.S. dollar, like Canadian dollar, has been tanking. So technically, my electrical rate keeps going down in terms of USD because USD is a little bit stronger. All right. Anyways, so no Bitcoin mining for me. I guess I should add in here, I don't know, these solo miners. That's going to be a whole other topic. Solo miners. That's really nothing, or that's honestly nothing. But anyways, ASIC mining. Okay, back to ASIC mining. All right, my plan. All right, so yeah, I'm not going to do Bitcoin mining at scale. I think that's far gone already. Juice ain't worth the squeeze. Rather, just if you believe in Bitcoin, you rather buy Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin. Yeah, it's just not worth it anymore. If you don't have very cheap electric under 5 cents for Bitcoin mining, it just doesn't make sense. Especially if you're trying to do it, to make money. Who isn't? Everyone's doing this to make money. Let's be honest here. All right, everybody is doing this to make money, and so I'm looking at things in where I hope to make money on, but also I need to consider this as I run this as a business, and so I need to have the profit. I need to have the revenue because I pay quarterly taxes. So right, I'm able to expense my electricity. I'm able to expense my hardware. I depreciate my hardware, my phone bill, my internet. everything, you name it, right? This is all for everything I do is for like the business. Um, Now I know for majority of you guys are not maybe not running this as a business and you're doing it as a hobby. And so this is not going to probably pertain to you, maybe on a smaller scale, but you know, I'm running combined with my ASIC hosting, I think I'm running like maybe 6, 7, 800 amps worth of stuff, right? So I have a lot. I have maybe almost a megawatt actually in terms of all my ASICs running. I have a lot of ASICs running. I have a lot of ASICs running. I have a lot of script ASIC miners running. So here we go. Here's the next phase of my of ASIC mining for me. Now, okay, script mining, Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin is the most profitable out of all the coins. You know, you're mining Litecoin and then merge mining Doge and auxiliary coins. There's some of the coins that are auxiliary to Dogecoin. Dogecoin merge mines a bunch of other Litecoin. You're merge mining with a bunch of other coins. So, um, you know, I think with script, it's nice. I don't want to. How do I tread water? How do I navigate this? You know, I personally, you know, if I'm going to talk about script mining or talk about getting into, you know, heavy into ASIC mining, I kind of don't want, you know, I kind of don't want to like, it's not like gatekeep, but like with script mining and such, it's been sustainable in a way where if you have generally cheaper electric, the script miners, okay, so script mining can be sustainable long term, but it's not like with Bitcoin mining. It's not as sustainable because there's so much more hardware out there. Hash rate difficulty has skyrocketed. You know, but with Dogecoin, it's been relatively stable in a sense, and as we all talk about that, it's probably going to get worse from here. So then it might not be stable and it might not be sustainable as I talk about it. So anyways, I am going to be expanding into script, but I have how do I say it? I have a few like conditions really. I'm going to be expanding into script, but it depends. Okay, so right now, okay, there's a few things happening. So for script miners, there's a lot of the newer, more efficient ones coming out. We got the L11 Pro, does 21 gigahash at 3600 watts, probably 38, 37. So the joules per megahash, honestly, I feel like the efficiency is probably going to be like 0.18, 0.19. My L9 17 gigahash I just got and I've tested, I'm getting 0.20 efficiency. So going from 0.18 or 0.19 to 0.02, marginal. We're talking 1 point in efficiency better. 0.01 point efficiency better on the L11 versus like an L9 17 gigahash. So right now I can get L9s right now for about 3770, 3750 with DDP to your door. I honestly think if we are in this downward trend, this is gonna again depend. This is where I put it depends. This coincides with the market right now. Has Dogecoin hit a bottom? Has Dogecoin, you know, are we going to continue down lower and lower, just like we've had in the previous bull run, 2021? People are saying, you know, Bitcoin has topped, and you know that may be true, that may be right. So I'm thinking, and if this happens, okay, if Dogecoin, you know, goes down to 10 cents or so, and we see L9s, you know, come down to like, I'm gonna say if L9s come down to like 3,000 or something, I might buy into it. Right now, I think I think it's a decent time to buy in, especially if you have cheap electric. Even with my 7 cents, 7.2 cents here, I'm still very. Oh, this is not a L. Hold on. L9, L9, 17 gigahash. Yeah. So even at my 7 cents too, I'm still able to profit uh $8 a day. And I truly believe that the L9s will probably still be okay and still be profitable if we are going to go into a bear market. So I think the L9s are a great pickup. And as I say that, hopefully publicly, not a lot of people get into it. Again, totally predicated on your electricity costs, your cheaper electric. Um, Boris, are you in Asia land? Yes, Boris. I'm in the middle of Nam. I'm literally streaming in a village with fiber. I'm not even kidding. Um, so how much silver are you gonna pick up while in Asia to sell to USA, Canada when back home? Asking for a friend. Smokey Dan. So it relies on Dogecoin's strength. Yeah, Dogecoin is like 90% of the profits, right, of script. So, um, Nick Fange 6440. What do you do with L9? Keep the Doge or convert to BTC? Okay. Nick Fange 6440. Let me talk about that down here. Okay. Um, let me talk about that down here. Okay. That's gonna be later on. All right. So this is gonna depend on if we're going further down in the market. L9 17 gigahash pricing comes down further, I will buy into them because I have access to cheaper electric and yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's that point. So I think L9s are great. I honestly buying into the L11s, it just the marginal efficiency gain on them, it just doesn't make any sense. The price of the L11 is like 8 grand, 9 grand, 9 grand, I think. It says 78.50 on here. I don't think it's 78.50. I think it's more now. I think it's more than that. But you know, 8 grand for an L11 when it's 20 gigahash, when you can spend less than 4 grand, you get an L9 17 gigahash, right? 3 gigahash less than an L11. Is that worth $4,000 more to buy the L11 with a marginal increase of 0.01 of efficiency? No. Or 0.1, sorry, in efficiency? Or 0.01, yeah, in efficiency? No, it's not worth it. Look like they're extremely close in efficiency. Pandas in a tunnel in Ho Chi Minh. That's funny. I'm not in a tunnel, but I'm close to a tunnel. All right. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for script. I think I'm gonna be getting into mainly into script right now, as I see that it has been the more sustainable algorithm for ASIC mining thus far. Okay, so continuing on, other ASIC mining. Yeah, I'm not going to expand into altcoin ASICs. Yeah, I'm not. You're not gonna see me. You're not gonna see me buy altcoin ASICs unless I am sent one to do a review, an honest review where I say don't buy it, which I've said that on literally all of the altcoin ASICs that I've been sent. Okay, even the INI box I got sent recently. In the first minute, I say I do not recommend buying this. All right, the INI box. The first thing I said was I do not recommend buying this. So like, have you guys ever seen me get? Okay, actually, that's not true. I have bought into Ethereum Classic ASICs, which actually still profitable. I have an E11. I actually had this E11 for the past year now. The E11 is actually still doing pretty decent at my electrical rate, 7 cents. So my E11 is still making, a pretty penny every day. My Bombax miners are actually still profitable. Easy 100Cs, $3 a day. So I'm not going to sleep on Ethereum Classic, okay? Except Ethereum Classic ASIC miners. So I'm not. So you won't see. I'm not going to expand into Caspa, right? Caspa. I'm definitely not going to buy any more Caspa miners. I'm not going to expand into Alephium ASICs, right? Spec. Not going to expand into any spec ASIC mining ASICs. I don't know how else to put that. Gaming with Smokey Dan, but Red Panda Mining, will you accept them from companies? Yeah, of course. If a company wants to send me an altcoin ASIC, I will review it for the channel. I will give my honest review, like I've always done. You guys don't. This is what I hate about people always, complaining about YouTubers receiving stuff. If I don't receive something and I don't talk about it and I don't review an altcoin ASIC, I don't put forth the information out there, right? And this is what happens. People blindly buy these things. People blindly buy like the gold shell. You know what I think was a waste of money is this gold shell. You know what I saw a lot of people buy? Is this. That people. Why are people buying this? The XT. What's that little. The gold shell bite. This is the worst. This is the worst miner I have ever seen. The gold shell bite is such a waste of money. I don't know why so many people have been buying this thing. It is a literal waste of money. The gold shell bite. I don't know why. Like my review of this, I said it's not good. Like it's very bad. Like I just don't agree with that thing at all. In terms of its like look, it's tech and it looks cool, sure, but honestly, it's a waste of money. Simon says the byte has an overheating problem, and that's one of my biggest issues I had with it, is that it was running real hot, real hot. Anyways, so no to Aleo. Oh, definitely not not buying Aleo ASICs. That's for sure. That's for sure. Anyway, Gigavolt Trey says the byte is cool concept as a modular system, but that's about it. Exactly. Otherwise, it's a waste of money. Otherwise, the gold shell byte is a literal waste of money. You will not make any money with that thing. There's 0 point to be purchasing that. 0 point. Let's see. Are people solo mining with the byte? I don't know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't even waste my time trying to solo mine. What XT? What's XTM? And what else did it have? Aleo? Can you even solo mine Aleo? I haven't even checked that out. But the thing was, the thing was running way too hot. People buy the gold shell byte because even you said it isn't a good buy. Other YouTubers have been mega hyping it up to get views and get paid from sponsors. BP _26. You're right, and I feel bad. I feel bad for those people. I think I think with those types of devices, you're just not going to make any money. Where I think the smaller miners make sense is these like more so for Bitcoin or even Dogecoin. I know there's actually the gold shell byte has the script one, right? It has the script card, but the hash rate is nothing. The hash rate is like nothing. So I would rather buy something else that's more cost effective than the gold shell byte. The gold shell byte, the price is horrible. You can solo mine Doge with it, 80 mega hash ish on script. But the price of it is like what, 500, 600 bucks for the gold shell byte. I just don't. Yeah, it's just not, and it's not reliable. I've already seen and heard a lot of people have those things break, which is brutal. I wouldn't even solo mine XTM with my FPGA farm when it launched. It was insanely difficult to hit a block from day one. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. Simone says Hammer Miner looks interesting, but not at 325. Yes and no. Yeah, I think the Hammer Miner, they're actually making a newer Hammer Miner now with I think 4 chips. So it's going to be double or 8 chips. It's going to be like quadruple the hash rate, which I think would be cooler. But anyways, okay. So I think that's it for ASIC mining. Did I cover what I wanted to cover? I think so. Bitcoin is probably one of the big ones I'm not going to get into. Script I think is good to get into. This is one I feel ASIC mining is only good to get into if you got cheap electric. That's it. That's it. If you can run it as a business and depreciate the miners, and you're running as a business like I'm doing, you depreciate the miners, you get your money back, you pay less taxes. I think this is a good way to go. You expense the electricity. This is an easy way, in my opinion, if you have access to cheap power. That is. Andrew Ferrero, I bought my first script ASIC today. It's just a Volk Miner D1 DG1 Mini. D1 Mini. Prey. Yeah, nice. Running a space heater in one of my rooms right now. So might as well swap it for this to offset the electricity. Andrew Ferrer, 100%. That's and that is one of the most common things regarding buying a small miner is to provide heat. And instead of running a baseboard heater, you're not making anything. Why not just run a couple little ASIC miners to run heat for your house? Yeah, totally. There we go. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Nemesis, welcome. You need to be sub 4.5 cents all in for ASICs to make sense, Red Pen. Nemesis, 100%. 100%. I think with script, I think the floor is probably, I'm going to say the floor would be 7 cents. I think for script, the floor is 7 cents. For Bitcoin mining, yeah, under 5 cents. For Bitcoin mining, you need under 5 cents to make it make sense. Otherwise, anything above 5 cents for Bitcoin mining, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. And at that point, you might as well just buy Bitcoin. Yeah. All right. I think that's I think that's it. I think that's it for my ASIC mining. Yeah. I think unless I had tons of capital and I had all the latest and greatest Bitcoin miners, even at 7 cents, it's okay. It's okay, but not really at this point in time. Script mining prices are coming down, which is nice, but we'll see what happens going into 2026. Geekwell Trades. What about Zcash? No, I will not. No, I won't. I won't be. I will not. I will not be expanding into Zcash ASIC mining. That's for sure. Definitely not now. Definitely not now. For sure. All right. Okay, moving along. Moving along. CPU mining. CPU mining. I will be expanding into CPU mining. I think CPU mining has been quite good, actually. Even my 3900X are profitable. My 3900X CPUs are actually still they are churning me a profit. Right now, I'm making 30 cents, 35 cents after my 7 cents on a single 3900X. I think they're making a little bit more than a single 178X, but I have like couple generations old Ryzen CPUs, and they're still making profit. So yes, I will be expanding into CPU mining. I think I think the 7950Xs are like the sweet spot. If I can find 7950Xs, which I think is impossible now. I believe those are the sweet spot for CPU mining. I think there are some. Okay, this is going to tie into my AI, but Epic, AMD Epic CPUs. So I think I am going to. I kind of want to. I've been building. I have some servers already with AMD Epics. I think these CPUs are really great for CPU mining, but I'm not going to make dedicated AMD Epic CPUs. I will not be making dedicated AMD Epic CPU mining rigs. They will be for AI. They'll be for AI. Yeah, that'll be for AI. Iowa, you should start streaming at this time every stream. So much nicer. Is it? Okay. I will. Smash the like, bros. Anyone just tuning in? I am just talking about my crypto mining plan for 2026. Again, I'm going to preface this with that my electrical rate right now is 0.072 C USD. And I also have access to ASIC hosting between 5 and 7 C for myself. I don't have free power. I don't have solar. I can't do solar because I'm in the Northwest Canada, rain, cloud, snow all year. I run crypto mining as a business, so I have to pay quarterly taxes. All right, so anyone just tuning in, I just have to make sure I say that. All right, so I already talked about GPU mining, what my plan was there. ASIC mining, I think I touched on pretty much everything there. We're talking about CPU mining. I CPU miner, but I do have 10 up currently, and I have like 20 more 3900X CPUs that I need to turn on. So CPU mining is actually lucrative. It's profitable at my electrical rate anyway. So I'm going to expand into some CPU mining. All right. Okay. So next one. I think that's it. There's really nothing else I can talk about regarding CPU mining. Okay. FPGA mining. All right. FPGA. All right. So FPGA mining. I think I don't have any FPGAs. I did have one. I did have a SQRL FK33, but I gave that away. I just gave it to I think the Traveler's Travels because he sent me a freaking guitar. He sent me a whole guitar, which was pretty awesome. I play guitar, not that much anymore. But he sent me a guitar. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to send you this. Anyways, FPGA mining. I think FPGA mining, I think is not dead. it's still alive for those that have access to, like, private bit streams, and have the time and effort to really get in to do FPGA mining. I'm not in the know regarding FPGA mining. I'm not in the know regarding the private bit streams that are out there. I don't have access to it. I'm not involved in it. So for that, I'm out. I'm not getting into FPGA mining in 2026. So that's that. That is that. FPGA phone mining. All right, phone. Retro Mike says now is your time. Buy my FPGA farm. Yeah, definitely not, Retro Mike. Definitely not. Geek of all trades. I have a broken Superscaler K10 that Jingle Miner sent me and never helped me fix it or ask for it back. What do I do with it now? Red Pen Mike. Geek of all trades. That's hilarious. I gave away the Superscaler K10 at my 250K subscriber giveaway. Oh man. Yeah, just throw it in the trash. Or give it to Retro Mike. He might be able to fix it. There you go. All right. Phone mining. Okay, so phone mining. Okay. Here's my whole thought process regarding phone mining. I hate setting it up. All right, I hate like setting up the singular phones. I hate that, all that kind of stuff. I hated it before. I know that there's a cell hasher. I know cell hasher is out there and is you're able to set up phone mining much easier. I may be getting into phone mining, but you will not see me get it into at scale. All right, I'm gonna have to say I'm not. I'm gonna say I'm not going to get into phone mining in 2026. I mean, I will for a review. I think Cell Hasher will send me one, but you're not going to see me actually actively buy one or set up a phone farm, because I think I could make money a lot better in other ways. ASIC miners, GPU, not really GPUs, CPUs. I'd rather spend money towards something that I know. Phone mining, I'm not in the know regarding phone mining, and I just don't think it's lucrative. I think it might be for some people, but phone mining is a fire hazard. Yeah, exactly. I'm just some stuff like that. I'm not into it. I'm not into it. But Retro Mike, don't feel bad. I have a stack of cell hashes in the box still in the closet. Retro Mike, send me one. Retro Mike, send me one. I'll trade you an Octax or a NerdQX++ for one. How about that? All right. Febrin Pradinar Putra 9324. You are not think to get into Zcash. What is your consideration? My consideration there is Zcash miners right now are very expensive. That's it. I'm not getting into Zcash miners because they're extremely expensive. Yep. Retro Mike, so you don't want the metagross. Mike, Retro Mike, you better include the metagross with a cell hasher, okay? All right? You better include that in there, okay? That the metagross is not even worth that much, right? Anyways, back to it. Hobbyist Miner, welcome. I'm here to find out all your deep, dark secrets for 2026. Yeah, probably, Mr. Hobbyist Miner. All right, so DePIN. Here we go, DePIN. All right, so right now, the only thing that I am in right now it seems like it's only making a profit is GeoNet. GeoNet is the only one I have that is actually making profit. My GeoNet, I'm currently making like I think $2 to $3 a day of GeoNet, and the miner itself that's on top of the house is only using like 13 watts. So, but DePIN going into 2026, I think the only other one will be Wingbits that I have. It's not on mainnet yet. Wingbits not on mainnet. Waiting for mainnet. I'm waiting for that. Metro Mike, I have a Metagross that is worth over 400. No, you don't. Send me a picture. You do not. Send me a picture. Retro Mike, you send me a picture of that Metagross. Let me see. But everything else in DePIN, I am not going to get involved. Not going to get involved. Trash. DePIN is trash. Okay, that's it. That's all I have to say. That's all I got to say about DePIN. That's all I got to say. All right, that's all I got to say. Okay. So, Hidden Fates Metagross box set. Suck it. Retro Mike. Send me a picture of that, Retro Mike. I will trade you everything for that set. All right? I will trade you. I will trade you everything for that set. Geek of All Trades, did you ever get the new Hive Mapper unit, the B thing? No. Geek of All Trades, nope, I never got it. All right. Z9 Mini solo mining pirate chain. Or are you mining Zcash? Solo mining pirate chain on a Z9 Mini. Ooh, that thing, the Z9 Mini takes a decent amount of power. You're solo mining pirate chain? That's a waste of time, obvious miner. I will go all in on Helium 5G every time. Lukewarm miner. Helium 5G. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, only that Helium 5G is only in USA. Nobody in Canada or anyone outside of Canada can do Helium 5G, so suck it. All right. Solo miners. Okay. Here. So I will I have enough already. So I will not be expanding into solo mining. And here's why. I'll show you exactly why. I hit on my Avalon Q the other day. I just hit a new best share on my Avalon Q. I have already 500 terahash solo mining. I already have 500 terahash solo mining. I am no longer needing to add any more. Look at how many of these freaking devices I have on right now. This is it. This is all I'm gonna have. I'm not adding any more to my fleet. That's it. That's literally this. I have 500 terahash solo mining. So my plan, I've already hit my. I think 500 terahash for me is good. I'm spending like 30 or 40 bucks a day out of my pocket solo mining Bitcoin, and I think I'm probably never gonna hit a block. I'm gonna waste so much money doing this. I think it's such a waste of money. But wow. Hobbyist miner ARR is up 20% year to date. Come on now, hobbyist miner 20% on a. Never mind. Never mind. No, I'm not even going to acknowledge that. Uh, I'm just shaking my head right now. Geekvault trades 500T. You're telling me there's a chance? If I better, I better hit, solochance.org. Is that the site? Hold on, Bitcoin. All right, I have 500. Let me put in the calculator here. All right. All right. All right. It says I have by 2140 by the year 2140. I have on average I could hit 2.61 blocks with 500 terahash. Oh my gosh. A chance by the 2028 halving. I have a 1 in 19 chance by 2028, before the next Bitcoin halving, to hit a Bitcoin block. I better hit a block. If I don't hit it, I'm going to be pissed. Knowing my luck, I'm not going to hit a block. I got lucky hitting a Bitcoin Cash block with my Mini 3. I hit some Digibyte blocks. That's easy. But if I hit a Bitcoin block, I probably won't. So anyway, Gigawatt trades. I'm reaching 8 terahash, and I think 10 is my limit. Yeah. At least you get the hardware for free. Okay, so proof of work blockchain mining. Yes. So as the YouTuber, as the content creator, majority of this stuff I get for free or because of sponsorship, et cetera, et cetera. But hence why I will not be expanding into solo mining. Okay, hence this is why I'm saying, I'm not going to be expanding into this because I'm already using like 30-40 bucks a day. Sorry. Actually, I don't think I've calculated how much power I'm using. You guys can let's see if I can guesstimate it here. Avalon queues. I'm gonna just say I don't think I'm using like 4,000 watts for the Avalon queues alone. Mini 3s probably like another 1,000. Octaxes another 700 watts there. BG02s another 100, 800 watts, 1,000 watts there. Nerd QX++, everything else. I'm gonna say another 1,000 watts. Yeah, so I'm gonna say 7.7 kilowatts. 7.7 kilowatt times 0.072. That's my electrical rate here. Times 24 hours. No, that's wrong. No, I'm using way more than that. It says I'm using $13. I'm spending $13 a day. I think I calculated something wrong. Maybe I am using 13 bucks. Maybe it's not 40. Maybe it's not $30 a day. All right. Well, anyway. Max. Let's see here. According to Red Pen My Logic, a 5.3% chance I should hit a block by the next halving. I mean, that's a pretty good chance. But knowing my luck, I will not. I will not. Okay. Anyways, I think that's it. I don't think I need to expand on that any further. At this point, I should really, I could replace all of this hash rate with a single, with a single 500, 400 terahash, Bitcoin miner. The amount of effort and having all these little miners. It's great that they're providing me heat. Yes, it's great that these are all over my house providing me heat. That's all they're doing this wintertime. Come summertime, I probably have to turn off half of this stuff, right? Come summertime, I'm probably going to take out the Avalon queues, right? So that's, this is like, I could replace all this with a single Bitcoin miner, and it's just like, why? Why? And also the dollar per hash for all these units, I probably could have bought like 10 S21 XPs. The dollar per hash is horrible on all these solo Bitcoin miners. Like I might as well just, since in my situation I have access to cheaper power, I can just buy S21 XPs and make more profit that way, instead of trying to solo mine. Lukewarm miner, 14,000 a year to maybe hit a block in the next 40 years. All right, if you put it that way, I'm just gonna turn all these off. All right, I think I should just turn all the. I'm probably wasting my time. Actually, though, I did hit a best share today of 781G. I'm almost at the top of this list here. The 904. I'm at almost top 100. I think I'm top 200 on hitting a top difficulty share on ckpool.org. So I'm close. My Avalon Q was close. I'm getting there, bros. I'm getting there. My best share. I'm gonna hit a terahash. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hit a block. All right. I'm gonna do it. I'm almost there. I'm top 100 best share, best difficulty share 2.69p. Dude, this guy hit it with like a bit axe, which is or one of those things. Unbelievable. Anyway, Ninja Kid, I hit 4.7T diff 2 days ago, Panda. No, you didn't. Ninja Kid on CK Pool. Wow. That's amazing. Anyway, J Style says hopium. All right. J Styles. J Styles. All right, this is what I have to say to your comment. J Styles, is hitting a 3 Bitcoin block hopium to you? Is hitting a block, solo miners, this year hitting a block, is that hopium? Is that hopium to you? Is it possible that I could hit a Bitcoin block one day? Gigawatt Trades, Red Pen Mining, are you mining to CK Pool and not your own node? Yeah. Gigawatt Trades. I'm not I have one or two little 903s mining to my own FutureBit node. Yes. Or Umbrel. No, I'm not doing Umbrel. I have mine. I have just a few going to my FutureBit. Yes. I'm going on CK Pool. ckpool.org. Yeah. I have a few reasons, but I'm not going to say why. They're going to be reasons that are probably really stupid, and I don't want to say it. Retro Mike said, Hobbyist Miner says, are you saying there's a chance? There's a chance, but I mean, people hit blocks. People hit blocks, but better odds hitting a BTC block than pulling a prismatic Umbreon. Yeah, 100%. All right. Okay, next part of my crypto mining plan. Here we go. Okay, AI GPU rental. All right. Okay, so I will not be expanding into AI GPU rental using singular desktop, singular GPU desktops for AI, quote unquote AI. I will be expanding into AI utilizing servers, utilizing multi GPU server setups. Okay. So I for most of you know simplepod.ai. So most of you know I am on a new platform called simplepod.ai. This is a private one. Not anyone can just join. But this is one that I've been on over the past month. My 3090s and my 3060s have been predominantly rented. I think I've made about $400 over the past month on this platform already. So I think they only want multi GPU setups. They don't want a singular 3090, a singular 4090, singular 5090 on their platform. So I get a lot of these. I mean, I think this is the case for a lot of these platforms. They want higher end setups. They want server setups, Epic CPUs, ECC. The biggest one is ECC. ECC memory. A lot of these, AI singular GPU desktop setups, they don't on the consumer-based boards don't allow for ECC memory. So they want multi GPU setups, server style. And so the two rigs that I have that are on AMD Epics, ECC memory, Xeons, they're rented. I'm making money. I'm making pretty good money on them on this platform. So I have the next server I'm going to be setting up is my 4090 server, and then I'm going to be buying into slowly a 5090 server. Yeah. And I think it's actually cheaper. I actually did the math. It's literally cheaper to buy into the server GPU setups rather than building singular GPU desktops now because of, okay, RAM pricing, everything's really expensive now, so it may not, I may not be getting into it right away, but you can find on eBay some pretty good multi-GPU servers for cheap. And, I bought an Octo server. I just bought another one for $600. It's got the motherboard, 2 Xeons, 256 gigs of RAM, 10 PCIe slots. Like, that thing is set up. I just need to put the GPUs in. Boom, it's making money. Right? Server grade. It's server grade hardware. So yeah, server. I'm gonna be expanding into server grade stuff, not consumer, because that consumer grade stuff has not been lucrative at all. Really, not these platforms. The platforms that have been adding a lot of these smaller rigs have not been lucrative, have not been rented. So I just not getting into consumer based stuff anymore. So I've converted, like I said in a few of my videos already. I've talked in the past couple of weeks. I've converted a lot of my GPU desktops into CPU rigs, right? My 39 and 5950X systems into CPU mining rigs, which are a lot more profitable anyway. All right. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's it for the AI GPU rental. Yeah, I'm still gonna expand into AI, but not in the consumer-based stuff. I'm going to be expanding into the server grade stuff. So stay tuned for that. I also my other basement. Actually, this is a good update. So my other crypto mining basement, I will be upgrading that to 400 amp service and getting 10 gig fiber. All right, I'm getting 10 gig fiber in there, so I'm hoping to add 2 to 4. I think I 37U racks, server racks height. I can't do 42. 42 is a bit too high. Probably 2. I think I'm just gonna do 2 racks, and then I'm gonna save some for mining. Yeah, I need half the power I'm probably gonna use for mining. Probably majority of it. The nice thing about Simple Pod AI, my server rigs, my 3090 and 3060 rig, they're actually doing AI work. And you know what the funny thing is? They're not even using that much power. So they're actually doing AI stuff, but they're not using like like the full TDP of the GPU, which is awesome. Which is like, you know. Anyway, that's my plan for my other basement. I already have fiber, 3 gig fiber on my main house where I live. But the other basement, I'm gonna be upgrading to this. This is where 10 gig is now finally getting into my area. So that's my plan. Retro Mike, gotta bounce. Have a great week, everyone. Retro Mike, have a good one, man. IotaPie, 10 gig fiber. Might finally be able to keep a live stream up. Wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. IotaPie, wow. Wow, wow, wow. You're right, though. You're right. Okay. All right. Okay, here's the big one. Profit taking. Am I hodling? You know, stable coins, yield farming, DeFi. All right, here we go. This is huge. Okay, so all right, so right now, preface back to my electrical rate, okay, of 7.2 cents, because again, I calculated my last bills. The Canadian dollar's tanking, and comparing it to USD, my electrical rate is actually lower now. So it's just so much better, so much better. Anyways, I don't have free power. I don't have solar. I run crypto mining as a business, and so I have to pay quarterly taxes. Okay. All right. So this is going to tie into profit taking. So okay. So here's what I've been predominantly doing over the past year already. So in 2025, I have been mining into BTC and USDC. I guess stablecoin. Okay. On pretty much everything. So, I've essentially, I have essentially been mining and selling every day, every single day. Yeah, pretty much every day. Actually, I get my payout from PowerPool. Okay, I've been using PowerPool now for a good long time here. I'll show you my dashboard here. Dashboard. So, I have all my script miners, all my script ASICs on PowerPool. I'm getting paid out in USDC. I even have all my Bitcoin miners here. Bitcoin miners, my Ethereum Classic miners, my Casper miners are all off now. But predominantly, I am all script now. I think PowerPool, it's a really, really good pool, by the way. Not sponsored by them, but if you guys want to create an account, go check out PowerPool. I love that they can convert into USDC or convert into Bitcoin. So whatever you might do, USDC or into Bitcoin or any other, or Doge, you can go into Caspa, you can go into any other coin. It'll auto convert for you. So that's what I really love about this pool. And I've been every single day, I'm getting the payout into my. I've been getting paid out every day, USDC. So going into 2026, I'm gonna keep the same thing because, and here's my reason. Okay, here's my reason, and I think a lot of people they don't agree with what I'm doing because they, you want to do the whole mine and hold, and I get it. But here's my reason, and I've been doing this since Doge was 40 cents, right? I've been mining and selling Doge script since it peaked. When Doge hit back in December, 45 cents. I called this in videos back then. I said Doge has peaked. Doge is top tier. So I've been selling. I have been selling profitably all the ASICs that have been mining, like all my script ASICs, for instance. The L9s. Back when Doge was 45 cents, they were making 30, 40 bucks a day. There is absolutely zero reason to be mining and holding Dogecoin when Doge is at 45 cents. There's literally zero reason to be mining and holding Doge when Doge was at 45 cents. And I kept mining into stables and Bitcoin because during this time, you're getting a lot more Bitcoin during this time. And you look at the Bitcoin altcoin or Dogecoin dominance at that time against Bitcoin, you were getting a lot more Bitcoin. But I have predominantly been going into USDC because the dollar value, the stables, that's where the dollar holds the value because it's a stable coin, right? So in terms of USD value, an L9 during these times are still making 30, 40, 50 bucks a day. I was mining into USDC, getting 40, 50 USDC a day, right? And so as I am running this as a business, okay, as I'm running this as a business and I have to pay quarterly taxes, I have to pay my income tax, right? So the USDC or Bitcoin that I received every day is considered income. All right? USDC, the mining that I've been receiving is considered income. All right? I have to pay taxes on what I have been mining. It's considered like a salary to me, considering it like a regular job. So I use Coinly. Coinly is my tax software. For anyone that doesn't know, I'll bring it up here. Coinly.io. Coinly is a really great website. I use this for all my crypto taxes. I've called the CRA. I've called Canada Revenue Agency regarding this, and yep, they take the Schedule 3, the complete report. If they call for it, that is, if you ever get audited for crypto. And so I run crypto mining as a business, and this is it. And so this is the reason why over the past year I have been predominantly mining and selling, especially with all the hardware that I have that is currently making money. Right? A lot of these, even my Bitcoin miners, unfortunately, I hate to say it, Bitcoin miners. I know everyone wants to, mine and hold Bitcoin. I get it. But considering that, I have to pay taxes every quarter, this is something where I have to, unfortunately, sell. And a lot of people don't agree with that. I get it. If you're a hobby miner, you're not running this as a business. Yeah, mine and hold all you want. You don't have to pay quarterly taxes. Mine and hold. If you're running it as a hobby at a much smaller scale, you're not expensing your electric. You're not depreciating your miners. You are, you're not doing any of that. You're mining and holding. That's great. That's great in that regard. But since, I run crypto mining as a business and at scale, this is very important. At scale, very important, right? My electrical bill is over five digits a month, right? No, it's not over 5. It's under that. I spend an F ton on electricity every month. So there's 0 point for me to run that as a hobby and not be able to expense, 9-10 grand worth of electricity. Who in their right mind is going to crypto mine as a hobby and not be able to expense $10,000 of electricity? Tell me, am I not wrong on that point? Can somebody tell me, is that not wrong? Am I not wrong into saying that? J Styles, RPM, without saying numbers, what's you P&L ratio say for this year? You up on the year? J Styles, okay, yeah, I actually looked at this the other day, J Styles. You're talking about like my crypto mining profits versus my electricity bill. Are you saying it in that regard? I I'm like, I'd say I have been about 65% like electricity, and like the profit on that is about another, after that it's like 35-40% after what I've crypto mined over the past year. Does that make sense? But since I run YouTube, everything as a business together, I also make money in other forms as well. So, it's like it's hard for me to differentiate. It's hard for me to differentiate that. But I am making money without, I am making money, if I were to compare everything together. Efficiency is king. When you scale up, that electric cost gets pricey fast. Efficiency is king. Exactly. Again, this is why I prefaced the beginning of the stream with my electrical rate. This is what I'm paying. I have access to ASIC hosting between 5 and 7 cents. I'm still profitable. Throughout the year, I have been profitable because I have access to cheaper product. Again, if you don't, my plan that I'm doing is not going to be tailored towards most people here. If you're a hobby miner, if you have, higher than 10 cents electric, your strategy is going to change completely. Is going to be completely different from what I'm doing here. So it's totally different. It's totally different from what I've been doing here. Everything that I make and what I mine. As much as trust me, if the money I make from YouTube, I make from my full-time job, right? YouTube is my full-time job. This is where I love it when people say, "Oh, Red Panda, you get all this stuff for free." You're yada yada yada. This is my full-time job. It's like any other job out there. Someone who is working a regular job, they're getting paid to do that job. I am a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. I'm getting paid to do this job. It's the same idea. It's not like anything different from any other types of full-time jobs out there. This is my full-time job. I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't have a regular, other 9 to 5 job out there. This is how I make money doing this stuff. And all the money I have earned outside of crypto mining, that's like my full-time job. I don't know how to. And sometimes that gives me the ability to mine and hold some of the Bitcoin. So this is where I now have in 2026. Okay. Sorry. This is where I'm planning on going into other forms of investment. Okay. So I've now been learning. I've been getting kind of heavy into Solana, USDC, and yield farming, which I think is pretty much DeFi. So I think what I looked at recently is USDC. So just recently, and I don't know if this is really gonna really matter that much, but I thought it was a pretty bullish thing. Everyone here knows that Solana is like on a massive scale. Visa has now accepted stablecoin, and they're going to be using the Solana's USDC. So I was like, dang, that's insane. But what I've also been learning recently, and I'm not going to tell you guys what platform I'm using. I'm not going to be that type of crypto YouTuber. I'm not going to tell you guys to get into DeFi. I'm not going to tell you guys what platform or anything. This is not financial advice. I'm not going to make any videos about DeFi. No videos about yield farming. I am not doing any of that. Disclaimer. I am not doing any of that. I am doing this on my own accord, by myself. You guys will never see me make any videos or talk about how I'm doing it. But I'm just earning extra from airdrops, interest, yield farming, whatever that is, from USDC. Okay. IotaPi, you know how to make a small fortune in Solana and yield farming? Start with a large fortune. Yeah. I mean that's it. That you to make it. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. $4,000. Let's say I bought a $4,000 L9, makes about $8 after 7 cents. You put $4,000. You know what? No, I'm not even gonna say it. No, I'm not even gonna say it. I don't even want to put that into people's minds. I don't want people to get burned. I don't want people to get burned. Okay, very risky. Very risky. Even though I know DeFi, smart contracts, it's actually tied to your wallet, so they can't do anything with the crypto that you're, farming. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to get too deep into this because this is not my DeFi, USDC yield farming. This is not my my forte. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyways, so I've been looking into other forms of earning, with the money that I have, rather than it just sitting. I can use it to make yield, essentially. So yeah. Anyway. Now, okay. Next thing. So, am I holding some Bitcoin and whatnot from when I'm mining with all my stuff? Of course. I think I'm gonna have a good general rule of thumb here because I have to pay taxes. I have to pay electricity bill. My rule of thumb here, I'm gonna try to hold at least 20% Bitcoin. Okay. Maybe also then I'm gonna hold. Oh, here, I'll just type in. My plan for 2026 is to hold 20% in Bitcoin and like, I don't know, I'm going to say 30% stable. Rest is cash, is for fiat, bills, taxes, life, So, Cosmos on Tangent is like 18%, so not too shabby. J Styles, I've been testing this one thing. I put like $4,000 into it, and the yield on it was like 28% or something like that. I was like mind blown by what it was, but I'm just testing it right now. I'm testing it with a couple thousand on one thing. So I was just like, man, this actually technically makes more than mining at this point. But I think there's a lot of risks. There's obviously a lot of risks involved with doing this whole yield farming, on Solana. Just be careful. Just be careful. But anyways, this is my go-to for in 2026 here. Am I now altcoins? I'm already. People are gonna say, well, what about your altcoins? What about altcoins? I'm already holding a lot of altcoins that are down 50 to 99%. So for that reason, I am not going to hold any more altcoins. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. I already have like 30, 50 other altcoins that are like way down. And there's 0 point for me to, I'm just not gonna hold anymore. I'm just gonna that's it. I'm gonna just focus on Bitcoin, stable coins. If I have some stable coins, I'll just be able to play around with, do maybe some other stuff with it. But invest try to do during the whole DeFi thing. But yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, that's it. Okay. So crypto nodes and staking. This is for max voltage. I don't think I'm gonna get involved in any nodes. I actually need to keep my static IPs for a lot of my AI stuff. I need to have dedicated IP now. SimplePod.ai requires static IP, so good thing I have 5, but I need to individually have them for each server. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna get involved in any nodes or staking. Yeah, so I'm just gonna say here I'm going to get involved in any master nodes staking. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into any of that. No. Only one place to go. 0. Yeah. I think that's it. That's really it. I mean, things could change, right? Things obviously can change, but this is like my general, like what I have been doing. Okay, I have one thing. A scenario that could change. Actually, I forgot to mention. So, if this is a big if. If Dogecoin keeps going further down, let's just say, all right, let me just say, like, theoretically, if Dogecoin keeps going down into the bear market, L9s are then making $1 a day at 7 cents. L9s, if they start making $1 a day, I will flick the switch. So I should, right, by the time, if and when that happens, all right, and this is why I've been selling into stable, because the miners are still making money, right, in terms of fiat value. If an L9, okay, or if my ASIC miners start breaking even, I will then mine and hold Dogecoin into Dogecoin, I guess, and Bitcoin. And the whole reasoning for that is, by the time that happens, by the time Doge goes down, also correlating with that, the network hash rate for Dogecoin will probably go down a lot as well. The yield will go up. So the whole strategy there is, for me, in that regard, and I know that Doge seems to always go up. Maybe it may not go up next season, not financial advice. But if Doge decides to break even, I'm going to flick the switch. Hopefully network hash rate drops. Then I'm going to be mining and holding the Dogecoin. Again, there's 0 point to be mining and holding the Dogecoin now when these ASICs, these like an L9 is still making, $8-10 a day after my electricity. Until I am not profitable or barely breaking even, I will hold the yield, because that time, that's when, right now, 86 Doge a day. But because of Doge's more higher inflated price, you guys understand what I'm talking about here, right? You guys understand my strategy, my mentality here, regarding mining and selling, and then when I flick the switch when if and when we are in the bear market for script. So that's just that's just what my plan is doing. I plan on doing. And it seems like Doge always goes up for some reason. But if not, then this could be a flawed plan, because mining and holding Doge at the top, it just does not make any sense at all. I remember a lot of other YouTubers I'm not going to call them out, but they said mine and hold Doge at when Doge was 45 cents. I just did not agree with that. And I said mine in the Bitcoin or sell the USDC. Like, this is like, when your ASIC is making $50 a day, you don't mine and hold. You know what? Mining and holding $50 of Dogecoin at 45 cents? No. You don't mine and hold when it's up that high. You mine and sell. Is this switch shaped like a bean when you flick it? Geek of all trades. Damn it. Only so much abuse we can handle. Staking requires server. Server needs RAM. RAM costs more than gold. As a pirate. Yeah, exactly. That too. All right. Well, does any of this does any of this plan, my plan here, correlate with anyone else's plan? Did anyone else here? Did anyone else here also doing the exact same thing or similar to what I've been thinking here, or am I wrong? No, not wrong, but is my strategy here flawed in any way? Do I have some flaws here? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Jay Styles, you definitely called it with Doge. I can definitely say I did in that regard, but man, I don't know, man. Retro Mike, let me see this. Retro Mike sent me a picture. Iodopai says, mine and sell literally seems like a great time to sell old CPU hardware, 3900X with DDR4 RAM. Iodopai, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But if I sell my CPUs now, which these 3900Xs are still making me money. The 3900Xs are actually still making me money. But do you think I should sell? You think I should just sell my 3900Xs, go into 7950Xs or Epic CPUs? Geek of all trades. I'm sorry, I've been multitasking. Can you start from the top, please? Geek of all trades, I'm gonna ban you. The script part, yeah, strangely enough, that's exactly my 2026 roadmap. 3D Flow Forge. Nice, man. Okay, so you're running it as a business. Smokey Dan says, nope, I am not you. Don't have the funds, power, or room. Need I go on? Right. See, and that is exactly, I can't. If I was a hobby miner, I would just be mining and selling straight into Bitcoin. If I would say right now, if I was a hobbyist miner, I would just be mining and whatever most profitable in the Bitcoin and hold. That's it. Everyone's situation is going to be different. RPM just got them up last week. GM Zombie. God damn it, GM Zombie. You're right. I did get them up last week. Rizzo says, you hit the nail on the head for your situation. Unless some obscure project comes along, but crypto is so mature now that it's unlikely. Right. Yeah, exactly. Iodopai says, sell AM4 DDR4 now and put the money into Solana yield. Wait for the AI DDR5 to implode, then buy AI5 platform. Iodopai, that's legit. That is actually a good plan. That's all right. You know what? Iodopai, I will add that in there. Sell all AM4 DDR4 rigs. I guess my 3900Xs. Hold cash. Then buy when hardware is cheaper. Yeah. Hold cash. yeah, Solana yield. Yeah. Yield farming. Man. I feel like I should make another YouTube channel. You know what? I might do another YouTube channel on it because I find it intriguing. I find the whole Solana. I literally find the whole Solana ecosystem. There's a lot of there's actually a lot of money in the whole Solana USDC ecosystem. There's so that people are earning a crazy amount. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not trying to push it. I don't want to push it on people. You do have to have a decent amount of money to actually, make money. A decent amount of money, but it's sometimes making more than versus buying an ASIC miner. So I'm like, dang, this is actually interesting. But yeah, maybe I'll look into it. DDR5 is a bubble. Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. Hardware arbitrage is a real thing for sure. Yeah, hardware arbitrage. Yeah, even with ASIC miners, right? ASIC miners, um, hardware arbitrage as well. Yes, I've got so much right now. It's stupid for me to hold. Yeah, is that liquidity farming? Gigawall trades, no. No, it's different. It's different. The liquidity farming, I think, is using bots or something. Well, no shit. It's used for all those pump and fun rug pull coins. Smoky Dan, no, I'm not. It's something different. It's doing something different. But anyways, I don't want to get into it. I don't want people into it because it's a very risky thing. Brick by brick, right into my. I held everything and rotated the funds into other coins. Overall, it has been mostly flat. There were a few pumps of a couple $100, but bleeding evens it out. Yeah. Yeah, brick by brick. Yeah. It's just because altcoins and everything have been bleeding consistently over the past 3 years. We're all bleeding, man. You're not alone. You're not alone for sure. Again, if you're not making any money from other forms, other ways, you're gonna be real hard pressed. Looks like Bitcoin is pumping here a little bit here. $89,000 Bitcoin. Okay. All right. Rizzo, mine into a small bit of BC2 just in case might pay off. BC2, I mean, maybe. Where's BC2 in here? Let's see. BC2. Bitcoin 2. Oh, Bitcoin's up. Bitcoin 2 is up. Overall, kind of down though, but it's kind of going up. B Nonky, glad to see you dipping your toes into DeFi. Yield farming can create nice cash flows, while lending with insurance gives you the power to be your own bank if and when needed. Yeah. B Nonky, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been learning a bit of that recently. I mean, instead of having cash just sit, doing nothing, it is risky though. DeFi has a lot of risks, but yeah, the yield farming can be pretty lucrative, and you can. I actually thought about it. I should just sell everything I have. I can do the whole yield farming thing, and I can live in Vietnam for free. I've legit been thinking about doing that. I don't have to use any electricity. I don't have to use any power. I don't have to do any mining. I just sit and collect the yields and sell. Oh man. Smoky Dan, yes, we all white knuckle riding this to zero. Whoop, yeah, exactly. Brick by brick, what do you think about the new Quai soap and price reaction? Has Quai gone up since then? I haven't checked. Since oh yeah, Quai's been going up. Oh dang. Oh dang, yeah, it's working. I mean, it's been going up over the past month, not to where it was before, but I mean, it is going up ever since Quai was. Yeah. Buy an island and call it Panda Land. I love it. Gmail trades, no joke. I did the numbers, and if I could work all night and live like a king in Vietnam, yeah, dude, it's wild how expensive living in the West is. Oh, dude, 100%. Oedipie says Quai hasn't paid out because it's 2-week block maturity. Lame. Yeah, true. That's true. I haven't gotten paid out of my Quai yet. So I bet you anything, in 2 weeks' time, we're just gonna see this massive sell. It's literally gonna be the race to the bottom. people are gonna sell so fast. People are gonna try to sell so fast because the people who have been mining in the very beginning, for Quai, they're gonna sell instantly. So if I were you, if whenever you get your Quai payment, whenever you get your Quai, I would liquidate that as fast as possible because it's price appreciated. So from what you've been mining and holding since the beginning, you probably earn a pretty penny right now. Yeah. So, but I'm curious to see what the price action is going to be from then. I'm keeping it simple stupid in 2026. I have a ASIC my BTC Cryptex solo, 3 pieces mining Cryptex, selling BTC and ASIC solo mining BTC in my own umbrella node. DNL PND, nice man. Yeah, and that's the way to go. Just keep it simple. You're not going to make life-changing money, but I mean, if you hit a Bitcoin block, sure. But man, I hope I have 500 terahash solo mining. I'm never gonna hit a block for sure. I have some Quai from GPU mining. I'll look into selling. It's a pirate. Sell it all today. Yeah, once you get it. All right. Well, that's it, bros. I don't know what else. I really don't know what else to say other than this is it. My plan, honestly, is really not that much different than people who have cheaper electric and run this as a business as well. I know a GPU farm. I talked to him a lot now recently. He still has his GPU farm of 3,000-ish GPUs. He has 3 cents. Okay, he has 3 cents electric, and he's got a lot of 3070s. You know how much money this dude makes every day, and you know how much profit he makes every day. He expenses everything, like all his electricity, but his 3070s are still making a quarter a day. And he has over 3,000 GPUs. You know how much money this guy, he makes profit, like, he makes so much profit over his expenses. He sells every day, and he's just rolling in it. This guy I talked to at 3 cents USD, and he's in North America, by the way. His GPU farm is in North America. Okay, I'm not going to try to dox him. I'm not going to dox where he is, but he's got cheap electric. He's able to mine profitably with GPUs. He's been mining and selling, and he makes 5 figures every month. He makes 5 figures every month. We are nothing. We are nothing compared to that guy. That guy, he makes so much money. He doesn't even have to think about mining and holding. He doesn't care. He has no care in the world about mining and holding because he makes so much goddamn cash. He doesn't even know what to do with it. No, he reinvests it. Like he's basically building his like massive retirement off interest. Utterly insane. How much does your own personal hydro plant cost now? I don't know, man. Millions of dollars. Smokey Dan, real talk before you head off. Should you hit a BTC block while in Vietnam, will you come back? Smokey Dan, if I hit a Bitcoin block while I'm in Vietnam, I think I'd have to come back. And you know what the crappy thing is? Oh my goodness. If I hit a Bitcoin block now, oh my goodness. If I hit a Bitcoin block now, that would be, what? 3.125, right? That's 207. Okay, hold on. This is in USD. I need to go to Canadian. Hold on. Let me convert this Canadian. That would be 380,000 Canadian. I would have to sell. Okay. if I'm okay, I would be at the highest tax, the highest tax bracket for sure. 380,000 Canadian times, I don't know. I have to probably sell like I marginal tax rate is at that. After that would be after 250,000. Yeah, this is marginal. I can't really. I'm just gonna say like I probably have to sell like I'm gonna sell like 40%. I'm gonna have to sell like 152,000. I had to consider taxes. Like a good chunk of that is gonna be taxes. Oh my god. Though I would then think about buying maybe $152,000 worth of hardware. And then depreciate that. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably, that is what I would do. If I had a Bitcoin block, I would spend half of it. If I had 380,000 Canadian, just to divide it by two, I would spend a good half of that on ASICs, depreciate that on my taxes, and go to town. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd buy $190,000 worth of L9s. Let's see, divided by, I can buy L9s for $39.70 right now. I can buy 47 L9s. 47. That means, let's see here. If I bought 47 L9s, or 47 times, let's see, after 7 cents, I can make $376 a day. Canadian. 180 grand. Yeah. So you would get about 90K after tax. Yeah. Yeah. So taxes is a scam. Yeah, I mean, it is. Okay, bros, I think I've been streaming way too long. I appreciate you all. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you all. Let me know your guys' crypto mining plan. If you're watching this after the fact, let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you guys are a hobby miner or anything like that, and or business running as a business. Let me know what you guys are doing. What's your plan going into 2026? Okay, I'll see you all. Thank you. Appreciate you all. You guys have a great day. I appreciate you guys. Hit that like on the way out. Iota Pi, you should use that money to buy into a company that has 3-cent power. Yeah. That would be that would be good. That would be good. BTC Recipe, thanks for being here for all of us. BTC Recipe, I appreciate you. Appreciate you too, my friend. I appreciate you so much. I'm gonna continue on into 2026, crypto mining as best we can. I know it's hard. I know it's really hard for a lot of people, but for any of us that are still going, we're still keeping on the battle, essentially. Keeping on the battle. All right. I'll see y'all later.